Good morning, all of you. I, Dr. Chirakhoddin Pinjari, in charge principal, Amubai Alana B.Ed College for Women at Kunjkheda. This is my micro teaching video. Title of my micro teaching video is Disaster Management Concept Impact, Preparedness, Response and Recovery Strategies. My roll number is 39. What is disaster? A disaster is a sudden event that causes significant disruption, destruction, and distress, leading to loss of life, property, and resources. Disasters can be a natural, like earthquake, floods, hurricanes, or man-made, such as industrial, accidental, terrorist attack, or war. Types of disaster. There is a two types of disaster, a natural disaster and man-made disaster. A natural disaster is a catastrophic event caused by unnatural forces that result in significant damage to life, property, and the environment. These disasters occurs due to natural process of the earth and are often unpredictable. Examples of natural disaster: earthquake, sudden shaking of the ground due to tectonic plate movement; floods, overflow of water submerging land; tsunamis, large sea waves caused by underwater earthquake or volcanic eruption; hurricanes or cyclone, intense storms with strong wind and heavy rain; volcanic eruption, explosive release of lava, ash, and gases from volcano. Types of disasters. Man-made disaster. A man-made disaster, also called an anthropogenic disaster, is a disaster that occurs due to human activity, negligence, or technological failure. These disasters can be accidental or international, intentional, and often cause a serves harm to people and the environment. Examples of man-made disaster: industrial accidents, chemical spills, factory explosions, gas leaks, Bhopal gas tragedy; nuclear disaster, radiation leak due to a nuclear reactor failure. Example, Chernobyl by disaster; oil spills, large scale leakage of oil into oceans harming marine life; deforestation and pollution, destruction of forest and extensive pollution leading to climate change; terrorist attack, bombing, shooting, or cyber attacks causing destruction and panic. Impact of disaster. Disaster, whether natural or man-made, have serve and long-lasting effect on people, the economy, and the environment. That impact of disaster depends on its intensity, preparedness, and response measures. First impact is human impact, loss of life, distress causing injury and death due to the extreme conditions like earthquakes, floods, fires, or explosion; health issues, disease, malnutrition, and psychological trauma affects of and survivors; displacement, people lost their homes and becomes refugees or internally displaced persons; emotional and psychological effect, anxiety, PTSD, and mental health disorders increase after disaster; economic impact, destruction of infrastructure, road, bridges, power grids, and buildings collapse; loss of livelihoods, farmers, fishermen, and factory workers suffer due to destroyed business and job; financial burden on governments, governments spend huge amount of on relief, recovery, and rebuilding effort; insurance and market disruption, property insurance claims increase and business shut down. Environmental impact, deforestation and soil erosion, landslides and floods wash away fertile soil, reducing agricultural productivity. Water and air pollution, oil spills, radiation leaks, and industrial disasters contaminate resources, wild destruction, many species losses habits leading to biodiversity losses, climate change, acceleration, some disaster like wildlife and industrial pollution worsen global warming, social and cultural impact, breakdown of communities, families and societies get separated due to migration, increase in crime and social unrest, scarcity of resources can lead to conflict and looting, cultural heritage loss, historic monuments and places of cultural significance get damaged. Political impact, governmental instability, poor disaster response can lead to public dissatisfaction and protest. Policy and law changes, government may introduce a stricter building code and environmental policies. International relation, countries may either strengthen or weaken diplomatic based on disaster response and aid. Disasters have multi-dimensional impact on a society, making disaster preparedness and management essential. Investing in early warnings systems, infrastructure, religions, and emergency response plans can help reduce these impacts. Introduction to disaster management. Disaster management refers to planning, organizing, and implement measures to mitigate the impact of disaster and ensure the safety of people and infrastructure. Phases of disaster management. Disaster management is a continuous process that involves multiple phases to reduce the impact of disaster and ensure a quick recovery. It is divided into four main phases: mitigation, prevention phase, preparedness, readiness phase, response, emergency phase, recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction phase. Mitigation, prevention phase, objectives to reduce or eliminate the risk of disaster before they occur, identifying disaster prone areas, constructing disaster resident building, enforcing strict environmental laws, raising awareness and community training, climate change adoption measures, example, constructing flood barriers in flood prone areas, enforcing strict fire safety regulation in buildings. Preparedness readiness phase, objective, ensure communities and authorities are ready to respond effectively to a disaster. Developing emergency response plan, conducting disaster drill and training, setting up early warning system, stockpiling essential supplies, food, water, medicine, strengthening communication networks. Example, Japan's earthquake drills to prepare people for seismic activity, establishing emergency response team like the National Disaster Response Force (NDRF). Response emergency phase. Objective to provide immediate relief and rescues operation after a disaster occurs. Search and rescue operation providing medical aid and first aid. Evacuating affecting areas, setting up a temporary shelters and food distribution, coordinating relief effort with NGOs and government agencies. Example, evacuating people during hurricanes or floods, developing emergency workers after an earthquake. Recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction phase. Objective, restore normally and rebuild affected communities after disaster, restoring essential services, electricity, water, transportation, providing financial aid to victims, rebuilding homes, schools, and hospitals, implementing psychological support programs, evaluating disaster response for a future improvement. Example, rebuilding homes and infrastructure after the 2010 Haiti earthquake, providing trauma counseling for disaster survivors. Phases of disaster management. There is a four phases of disaster management. The same uh, contribution of the mitigation, recovery, response, and preparedness. Key organization and their role in disaster management in India and Maharashtra. First, National Disaster Management Authority (NDMA) established 2005 under the Disaster Management Act, formulate policies and guidelines for disaster management, coordinate disaster response at the national level, promotes disaster risk reduction (DRR) strategies, works on early warning system and communication awareness. Examples of NDMA issues: cyclone and earthquake preparedness guideline. B. A National Institute of Disaster Management (NIDM) role, provide training and capability building program, conduct a research on disaster mitigation, support NDMA in policy making. Examples: NIDM trains emergency responders and government officers. Key organization and their roles in disaster management in India: National Disaster Response Force (NDRF) role, specialized force for search, rescues and relief operation, response to flood, earthquakes and industrial accident, conducts mock drills and awareness program. Examples: NDRF team were deployed during the 2013 Uttarakhand flood. D. Indian Meteorological Department (IMD) role, provide weather forecast and early warning, issues alert for cyclone, heat waves and monsoons. Example: IMD issued warning during cyclone Taukate in 2021. Key the Geological Survey of India (GIS) role, monitor and studies earthquake, landslides and tsunamis, assist in geological disaster risk assessment. Example: GIS provides seismic data for earthquake prone zone. Central Water Commission (CWC) role, monitor river level and issue flood warning, manage dam operations to control water flow. Examples: CWC provide flood alerts for major rivers in India. Key organization and their roles in disaster management in Maharashtra. First, Maharashtra State Disaster Management Authority (MSDMA) role, implement disaster management policies at the state level, coordinated with NDMA and local authorities, coordinate training, drills and public awareness campaign. Example: MSDMA manage disaster response during flood in Mumbai. Second, State Disaster Response Force (SDRF) role, to assist NDRF in disaster rescues and relief operation, rapid response to state level disaster. Examples: SDRF team were developed during the Maharashtra floods of 2021. C. Maharashtra Emergency Medical Service (EMS) role, provide 24 hours emergency ambulance service, dial 108, medical response to accident, fire and natural disaster. MEMS ambulance provided emergency care during the COVID-19 circus. Mumbai Disaster Management Cell role, handle urban disaster like building collapse, fires and floods, operate 24 hours emergency helpline 1960. Example: manage Mumbai's flood response in 2017 and 2019. Disaster management in India and Maharashtra is a multi-level effort involving national, state, and local authorities. These organizations work together to save lives, reduce damage, and ensure quick recovery of disaster. Case studies on disaster management. 2001 Gujarat earthquake, Bhuj earthquake, date January 26, 2001, Republic Day. Magnitude 7.7 on the Richter scales. Location Bhuj, Gujarat. Impact over 20,000 deaths, 1 lakh 67,000 injured, 4 lakh houses destroyed, leaving lakhs homeless, economic losses 10 billions. Response and recovery. NDRF and Indian Army conducted rescue operations. International aid received from over 20 countries. Seismic building codes where resides to ensure earthquakes. Resistance construction. Lesson to learn. Need for earthquake resistant infrastructure. Emergency response planning must be improved. Case study in this, the second case study is 2004 Indian Ocean Tsunami, date December 26, 2004. 9.1 magnitude earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. Affected areas Tamil Nadu, Andaman, Nicobar Island, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh. Impact over 12,405 deaths in India, total 2.3 lakh across 14 countries, 6 lakh people displaced, fishing communication suffered huge economic losses, responses and recovery. Indian Navy Coast Guard provided immediate relief. Tsunami Early Warning and System TEWS was established in 2007. Rehabilitation project Better Safe Homes and Livelihood Support. Lesson to learn from it. Importance of early warning system. Better coastal infrastructure planning required. Third case study, there is the 2013 Uttarakhand flash flood and landslide, date June 2013. Cause heavy monsoon rain, cold burst and glacier melting. Location Kedarnath, Uttarakhand. Impact 5,700 people dead or missing. Landslides and floods destroyed Kedarnath temple. Economic losses 4,000 crores approximately lost. Response and recovery. Indian Army and Air Force and NDRF rescues over 1 lakh stranded pilgrim. Helicopter rescues operation were one of the largest in history. Reconstruction and Kedarnath temple area was done carefully. Lessons to learn. Deforestation and unplanned construction increase disaster risk. Eco-friendly tourism policies are essential. Case studies for 2018 Kerala floods, date August 2018, cause heavy rainfall, dam mismanagement, impact over 483 deaths, 14 lakh people displaced, infrastructure losses 31,000 crore approximately lost, landslides destroyed several villages. Responses and recovery. Indian Army, NDRF and fishermen of Kerala conducted a massive rescue offer. United Nations called in one of the worst flood in 100 years. 700 crore was allocated for relief and rehabilitation. Lessons to be learned. Better dam water release management required. Urban planning should consider flood risks. Case 35, 1984, Bhopal gas tragedy. It is a man-made disaster. Date December 23, 1984. Cause methyl isocyanate. Gas leak from Union Carbonate factory. Location Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Impact over 5,000 immediate deaths. 5 lakhs affected. Long-term health issues, cancer, birth defect, lung disease, environmental contaminant till present. Response and recovery. No immediate evacuation plan causing more death. Compensation and medical aids were provided to the victim. The Indian government pledges stricter industrial safety laws. Lesson to be learned. A strict industrial safety regulation are crucial. Need for disaster response plan in industrial zone. Importance of disaster preparedness. Disaster preparedness is crucial to minimize the impact of disaster and ensure the quick recovery Being prepared helps save lives, reduce economic losses, and protect the environment. Below are the key reasons why disaster preparedness is important: save lives and reproduce injuries, reduce property and economic losses, ensure quick and efficient response, protect the environment, strengthen community relations, reduce panic and malformation, legal and government complaint. Conclusion and recommendation. Conclusion: disaster management is a continuous process that require planning, awareness, and coordination. Proper disaster preparedness can significantly reduce the impact of climate. Disaster preparedness is not an option, it is a necessary. Early warning training and proper planning can save lives, reduce damage, and ensure a faster recovery. Investing in a preparedness today means favor losses tomorrow. Thank you.